Would I recommend Freightoscope? Yes, I would, and I would again. The legacy, software providers would not, they're just massive and they don't see you. Working with Freightoscope, I believe we're seeing, and that's really important for us.
So to start, could you introduce yourself and your role at Triage Dynamics?
I'm Temitope Joseph. I am the Operations Director, Triage Dynamics Freight Logistics Services. Basically, we're a freight forwarding and logistics company based out of Canada. We operate a global service providing freight forwarding, air freight service, land freight, and ocean freight services for freight forwarders like us in other locations around the globe, and for manufacturers and importers and exporters of products into and out of Canada. We also provide customs brokerage services within Canada, warehousing service, and last mile delivery. What separates us is that we're nimble, we're small, and we're dynamic. We receive any requests, we hand it over to a member of staff who sees it from cradle to grave. So you'll be talking to the same person from beginning to the end.
The conversation in the industry right now has a lot to do with companies like yours, large, small, has to do with how can we go digital? How important do you think it is for forwarders globally to approach this digital transformation, in your opinion?
The world keeps evolving every day. If you don't adopt technology, you'll be living in a dinosaur age, basically. So technology adoption in the freight forwarding industry has now become a must, and it is here to stay. In the past, everything was paper-based, including the airway bills, and there were a lot of paper trails and lots of paperwork. These days, with AI and technology evolving, what you could do in 2 days, you can virtually do it in 30 minutes. Technology makes the work efficient, makes it faster, makes your team nimble. You can achieve more in less time.
Obviously, you guys Triage chose Freightoscope. Can you talk to me a little bit about maybe why you guys decided to go on this journey for a digital freight solution, and what were the main concerns, ultimately, how you landed on Freightoscope?
Freightoscope as a TMS or FMS is not our first transport management system. We've used one, then another one, but these platforms, we're not growing into it. There was no symbiotic relationship between our system and theirs. What we do is we look at not what we can get in the immediate, but what we can grow into. And we look at, okay, in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, how will this technology, will it continue to support us? Will it grow? There were a lot of shortcomings for us, and those issues were not being addressed in time, and it borders on efficiency, it borders especially on accounting. I'm going to talk about that maybe later as we proceed. The most important thing for us was efficiency. We found Freightoscope. We were already shopping for other freight management systems. Kind for kind, give for give. Freightoscope came up to the top. We looked at it as a system that we can grow with and can also grow with us. The modules offered it perfectly, into
your everyday, your operation
framework. Yeah.
Right.
Especially the accounting package. So that was the number one selling point for us. But we've tried out some other software that had an accounting package built into it. Had to do double work, let me put it that way. Freightoscope integrates seamlessly with our already existing accounting package, which makes the work easier even for the accounting team and for the operations team. So it was a perfect match for us. As we grow, the system grows as well. That's just the nice thing about Freightoscope. The last point I'm trying to make that made us finally decide to go with Freightoscope was the ability to send electronic airway bill there and then online. It was top notch for us, and our ability to also edit the airway bills and edit the ocean bill of lading. The former software we used you're restricted to whatever the form field you were given. Freightoscope gave us the ability to edit and add those things, and the customers have been happier for it. So it's a win-win for us as well.
How important is it to you and the team at Triage to make sure that a digital platform is not just fully ready today, but is willing to be fully ready in the future and actually building that relationship with you rather than just giving you one-size-fits-all products?
The support team at Freightoscope, they ask for inputs and opinions and what our pain points are. Anytime we highlight those issues to them, they address them immediately, and the ones they can't address there and then, get updates on them. Oh, this is still being worked on, it's going to be done. And it's really important to work with a system where you know over time it's going to meet and exceed your needs. See, it's not the big things that we really look out for. It's those small improvements, those little things people don't focus on. Like I mentioned, the editable field for maybe the consignee or the shipper on the airway bill. It's really very important for us to be able to add those information. Those are the little, the little things that
they add up.
The legacy, software providers will not, they're just massive and they don't see you. Working with Freightoscope, I believe we're seen and we get heard, and that's really important for us.
I want to talk more specific to the FMS. When you first saw the demo of the FMS, what were your initial impressions just right away?
Going into the demo and seeing what's being offered and those little details that we don't get from the software vendor we were using over time, I saw them immediately in Freightoscope. That just, changed my mind. And when I look back at the decision we made going with Freightoscope, I believe it's a well thought out decision and we don't regret it.
How do you think the FMS has improved the whole shipment lifecycle? Do you feel like the FMS ultimately streamlines that process for you guys?
Yeah, we provide quotes, we convert them to shipments and, all the way to account receivable and payables, and till we finalize the job. Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience.
How would you describe your training and onboarding experience?
The training and the onboarding was spectacular. That's the word I'll use. I had a lot of session with your team. Everybody just wants to help, They just want to chip in something. They want you to know this is available. They want you to know how to use this. And after that, I was given access to I think it's a program called Scope IQ or something.
Scope IQ, yes.
I've been taught those things, and I was able to also pass that on to my team. And the training with my team was, a team member joined us like a month ago, and within a week, he had started using Freightoscope to the fullest, and he's in the operations team and doesn't have any problem, using Freightoscope.
How do you think the FMS has helped different teams within Triage?
We have 4 different departments. We have the admin, operations, pricing, and accounts. Freightoscope has enabled us to work in that way. Like I mentioned, a member joined us in the operations team. He has access to all the operations module. Once quote is done or approval is given, he goes on to do his thing without, interfering with the pricing or with the administration, and we can approve some module or more modules for him to work on as he gets better. We can remove module from whoever doesn't need to have access to it, and Freightoscope has helped support the kind of structure we have on ground.
So I want to jump into a little bit of integrations and accounting. At Freightoscope, we pride ourselves on in-house integrations. So you will never come to Freightoscope, hey, I need an accounting integration for this, and we will never have some third party playing it. We build all of our own integrations. I understand the Triage team has an accounting integration with us. I would love for you to talk a little bit more about that, how that, whole process from integration was, and how that accounting integration benefits the team today.
Before I answer your question, sure. I need to quickly run a comparison. The TMS or FMS software we transitioned from to Freightoscope had similar feature for accounting system, but the difference is Freightoscope matches each accounting item to our product and service. Unlike our former software matches it to category, and the accountant now needs to start taking each category and matching it to products and services, which is like doing a double entry or doing double work. Freightoscope builds it down to matches each charge item to a product auto service in accounting system, which makes accounting system more robust and easier to work with. So less work doing accounting jobs. It's already linked together. We can just at a click of a button, transfer whatever we have on Freightoscope to accounting system, and just seamless. Overall, it's made the integration between the accounting package and Freightoscope a lot easier.
What would you say to a fellow partner or an agent that you're working with who may be considering Freightoscope?
Like, I had an agent contact me from Argentina, and would I recommend Freightoscope? Yes, I would, and I would again. This is not my first FMS. This is the third one. Coming from the other two, I would recommend Freightoscope.
Looking ahead, how do you see the future with using Freightoscope? Are you excited about the future of the platform?
Yeah, so far so good. Like I said, I particularly and members of my team, we're happy using Freightoscope with the kind of updates I see coming up on a regular from your support team on new features and new add-ons and new improvements. If it continues with that trajectory, I believe Freightoscope will be the go-to transport management software or the freight management software, as the case may be. We're happy and we'll be glad to tell others that, look, this is what we use. It's been working for us and we intend to keep using it for a long time.